Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Call of Duty TV. Today I'll be covering 10 tips for those jumping into Season 3 in Verdansk. Let's get into the video. Number 10, it's different but the same. Though Season 3 of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War saw the Verdansk map change in many ways, it still feels similar. Hearing that there's a new or altered map could drive off players who feel it might take too much effort to learn an entirely new map layout. The truth of the matter is that most of the map feels the same in terms of movement and flow, with the biggest changes happening to specific points of interest. The map staying somewhat the same has caused a divide among the community in regards to whether or not it was a big enough change. Number 9, embrace change. Change can be scary and humans generally don't take well to it. There's a level of comfort and confidence in being familiar with the layout of something like the Verdansk map. Life is about change, and Call of Duty Warzone simply needed to change things up a year after its release to stay fresh and keep its audience. The changes made aren't a drastic overhaul by any means, and those fearing it should simply queue into a game and realize it's not that big of a deal at the end of the day, for better or worse. Number 8, building templates. For a year now, players have understood that there are certain templates to specific buildings, laid out across the Verdansk map. With Season 3, some of these buildings have changed layouts, some have added items, some have changed colors, and others have morphed into something else entirely. One change to keep in mind is that the gas station now will have ammo caches inside them, which were usually reserved for the police department buildings and narrow second-story houses. Number 7, know your weaknesses. Every person on the planet has an ego, but issues arise when it overtakes their critical analysis of the world and themselves. As a gamer, it's important to understand your shortcomings and admit that weaknesses do exist. With a new map and plenty of new players joining in on Call of Duty Warzone, it's the perfect time to work on fixing those weaknesses and becoming a better player overall. This becomes much harder as the only people left playing are the ones who tend to be rather good at the game. Number 6, ground loot preference. A big change in this new season of Warzone is that all of the ground loot weapons are from Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. This means that players need to find the guns that will help them succeed the most in the early game. Current favorites include the automatic shotgun called the Street Sweeper, as well as many contest that the S-tier submachine gun in the meta right now is the PPSH. Number 5, contextual tap is key. It's amazing that not every gamer explores the settings of the games they play. Far too often people are content with default settings, not knowing by tweaking some of them they can greatly improve their overall experience and performance. Setting the U/reload option at contextual tap means that by simply tapping the X button, players can quickly reload, pick up items, or interact with objects. This will drastically speed up player movement and allow you to move at an incredible pace. Number 4, know the meta. Depending on the person, the idea of a meta either interests or frustrates them. Some believe that using a gun that feels good to that individual is more important than using the weapon considered to be the best in the game at any given time. Though there is merit to this idea, there's also the reality of it being a numbers game, and ignoring it will only set the player up for failure. A bit of solid Google searching is the easiest way to get acclaim with the ever-changing meta that sees guns getting buffed or nerfed regularly. Number 3, pursue engagement. When people start a new game for the first time, they can often be afraid of confrontation. With multiplayer shooters, this is an urge that players must fight at all costs. The only way to get more comfortable fighting other gamers in various circumstances is to build up a callus that covers the nerves and allows you to feel confident in any situation. Number 2, find your personal meta. Earlier, the idea of following the meta was discussed, and it was brought up that some people have personal preference and should supersede that. The reality is that these two ideologies should be combined to effectively make the player the best they can be. If the second best assault rifle feels more comfortable than the top gun, then it's best to go with that. It's about finding a middle ground because ignoring the meta isn't smart. But at the same time, it makes no sense for a player to use the best gun in the game if they fail to use it effectively. Number 1, learn the map. This tip should feel like a no-brainer, but it's of extreme importance to learn and get comfortable with the new layout of the Verdansk map. Not only is it good to know what's been altered, but it's best to land in these areas and understand how they change and what it means in terms of movement and engagement strategy. It may seem daunting at first, but it's remarkable how good the human brain is at finding patterns and helping itself remember something as it becomes more familiar with it. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video. So long.